goal is to bring you your next favorite band.
You're getting sound level from me.
Thanks for having us. This is a very cool show.
Yeah, so through many iterations, and we finally landed on the weirdest one by far.
Yeah, just a couple of feelings, and boom, you got a sound.
Yeah.
I remember this one time, I'd been writing some songs, and I went out. I'm just going right in on this story. I went out, and so I was.
The story's longer than the song itself. We'll go ahead and play it.
And listen, it's going to be everybody's favorite band. Welcome to your next favorite band. That's both the show title and our promise to you. We here at Stereophilia Studio are tireless in our pursuit of finding incredible, genre-defiant artists who are either a hot up-and-coming band or a group that has been delivering for years but have flown under the radar. Day 2 of the Musikfest daily live streams here at Godfrey Daniels with special guests Eljuri and TIOGA the band. Each month, we will bring you live streams, audio podcasts, and perhaps even a live concert where you can listen to the stories and hear the music of artists personally curated by us based on what we feel will be worthy of your time. Be sure to subscribe and tune in to each episode because the possibilities are endless, and you never know who will be your next favorite band. Hello, day two of Musikfest, of our live stream, and we're just going to keep things rolling here. I am your host, Philip Reese. This is your next favorite band, and look what we have here.
Oh, es un honor. Día número 2.
That's
day
right.
2.
That's day 2,
right.
Our second time connecting. Actually third, because you also did the holiday spectacular.
Yes, during in between
Yes.
Musikfest.
Yes. But such an honor to have you. Can't thank you enough for arranging to be here for all this.
It's like a treat to come back to Bethlehem.
You had talked so highly of that, and that's such an honor for us. And also, it's so nice not only to hear it, but the people that I know at Arts Quest, I always share that, and they're so thankful too because they love to hear it.
It's a genuine feeling all the people I met when I did the shows here, they're very proud of how the city has just supports music and arts, and how it's you still respect the beautiful the history that it has by keeping those the beautiful
the steel
stacks.
I mean it was such a phoenix story. It came such wealth and such industry was here. Yes, and it supported all walks of life. Obviously, and then
Bethlehem Steel, big deal.
Yeah. I mean,
major,
big time. Helping the United States through the wars.
Exactly.
A lot of bridges in this country are built on Bethlehem Steel.
Absolutely.
And then when that all kind of collapses, the town doesn't know what to do with itself.
Well, the town clearly knew what to do with itself.
And then that's the thing.
That's what I admire. It's admirable and brave, and of all things, to pick the arts to kind of reinvent, re-engineer such a robust rebirth. Yes.
And actually, there are other cities who are going through similar, some industry that just brought everything in there, which could be things like a paper mill, or a quarry, whatever. There's things, a mine. And those things are now no longer supporting those towns. And they actually asked Bethlehem.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
You're setting an example. Yeah. You're a prototype.
Yes. And so some of the community leadership who was back in the 80s when they were trying to figure that all out, they actually will go to those cities and say, well, here's what we did. Don't know if it'll work here, but these are some principles. So it doesn't have to be the arts, to your point. They could pick something else.
Yeah, but it's still the whole idea, the concept of we can, like you said, give a rebirth.
Yep.
The people still here, the families are still here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of businesses still here.
Yep.
So you got to do something, but you guys are doing something that's really powerful.
It's so cool. When I go visit cities like Austin or Nashville, there are music cities out there, and I'm like, we're like this too. I'm really proud of Bethlehem when I go visit them, that I'm a mini version of those cities.
Yeah, you leave a mark, like what happened with Seattle with the whole grunge scene. this is definitely a scene here.
Yeah, there's a vibe.
There's a great vibe, great energy, great people. It's always boils down to the people.
It usually does.
Infrastructure matters,
yes.
but it's about the people.
And it's funny. So earlier this week, I did like a primer or a preview episode. We talked about music, beer, and food, because that's what the festival is truly built on. Is
the mugs matter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a Moravian tradition, and that's the people who kind of founded the city, and that was some of the decisions that were made. This is the 39th year of the festival, and so it was back in those times when they were trying to figure out what to do, and so this festival was started, and that Moravian tradition of local music, local beer, and local food. Fantastic. And so that episode, we did that. We talked about the musicians that were playing, but then also we had a local food vendor on and a local brewer on, and it was apparent that they were all friends. And then they all kind of talked about that, like how they all care for each other. And so there's not a lot of cutthroat. There's not a lot of
that's great.
mean-spiritedness. There's a lot of support between organizations, businesses, and then people. People just like we all genuinely care for each other.
And we're lucky to come from the outside, to be invited to such a beautiful, nurturing environment.
That's so cool to hear.
It's true.
Yes,
it's true. I play a lot of places, a lot of festivals, and I'm always so excited to come back here. And as soon as we drove into Bethlehem, I'm in a car with a videographer, Rudy Gold, and he's new to he's like, wow, and so we were me and my manager were talking all about how great this is, and we pointed out the steel stacks and talked a little about this. And every time I talk to someone from here, I learn more. Yeah,
that is cool. That is very, very cool. And we love to hear it, and we love our music too. Like
clearly,
yes,
and
all
so supportive,
all ages. Like all these concerts, and even a venue like this. Here at Godfrey Daniels, let's not hesitate to mention.
Thanks for having us, Godfrey Daniels.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah. Yes, our hosts for the week have been gracious enough to let us kind of set up shop here. You come to a Godfrey Daniels show, and you will see local high school kids because we have music schools, and then people who are been coming here for this place was formed in the 70s, and they've been coming here since the beginning. So it's like you have this wide ranging listenership, and they all are true lovers of live music
year round.
Yeah, year round.
It's a year round.
Yep.
I mean, clearly, Musikfest is the mark.
Yes, it's
the pinnacle.
It's the star on top of the Christmas tree.
That's right.
Being Bethlehem and Christmas City, and we always talk about people who know me. Were sending me texts yesterday going, Merry Christmas, because they know this is like my favorite time of year. Really but I have 10 days of it, so it's wonderful. But anyway, thank you for opening here. We're definitely going to get to you. You have so much new things to promote and talk about. Primarily tonight's show, but also a lot of great music coming out. Either has been released or will be, and then you're going to play for us as well, which is awesome. But before we get into all that, I want to kind of just give the listeners and viewers some of the other tips of yesterday and today. So feel free to chime in, because when I turn this way, we learned a couple things yesterday on day one of this. One, I had the shot way off kilter, so we've kind of fixed that one. Two, I need a second mic. But hey, I started this roughly 3 months ago, so I'm going to turn this way, and it'll sound a little bit, like I'm in a can.
Well, do you want to turn the mic?
No, it's fine. I'll kind of do this, and then you can chime in, and it'll be awesome. 3, I have terrible posture, so I need to I'm trying to sit up much more straight. Yesterday, I looked at myself, and I was all frumpalicious, so I was like, I'm going to fix that one, hopefully. And then 4, when I brought up this image, to share, you can see it just blocks you right out.
Oh yeah.
And I thought when I shared, because I jump over to share some of the music for these bands that I'm highlighting or recommending, I thought it overlaid over the top of this. Well, it didn't. So that was persisting over the top of everything. So I was a comedy of errors yesterday. But that's why you watch this stuff back and you learn along the way.
That's right. That's true.
But people can still hear it and see a little bit of it, and it's more important to hear it. But anyway. Let's start with yesterday. So yesterday was day one, and there was some really, really good things that went on. The first one is, and I don't have a picture of it, but I have a video of it. So let's bring that in.
Cool.
The first band that I went to see, so pretty much right after we wrapped yesterday, I went to the new stage. So we have a brand new stage.
What's it called?
Called Stadtplatz.
Stadtplatz,
which is like town square is what Stad is in German.
Stadtplatz.
And because it's right in the area where the mayor's office is and all that kind of stuff. So it is a true town square. There's the public library is there, a lot of community buildings and stuff. Now it used to be a stage, called America Platz years ago, and it got like taken away for I don't know the history behind it, but a lot of people were sad about it, and they brought it back this year for the first time. And the view is stunning.
Great,
because it's this kind of like a ridge, like it looks out over all of Southside. So it's this wonderful view. So let me bring up the video of the band that was playing there first. Was a band called Best Friends. Oh, and this was one other thing we learned. The audio that's coming out of here is very loud, even though it doesn't sound like it in my ears. So I'm going to have to make sure that that's not happening.
You adjust it or whatever.
Yeah. So, hey. So here is...
Beautiful stage.
So this is Best Friends, and you can see there. See that view?
Wow.
And that is... It doesn't do it justice.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah. And these guys are from Philly. They had it was a great way to start the whole festival. Like, just
Philly's a great city.
Yeah. But I called this shoegaze hip hop because
That's a good blend.
Yeah, because it's kind of a it's got that kind of just sleepy vibe that is totally cool. And then they sing too. Yeah, isn't that awesome? So anyway, I really enjoyed them. They were cool. After that, we headed over and checked out Marielle Craft, who, when I checked back, I didn't catch any video of her, but I thought she was wonderful. Like she, her recorded. It's always interesting. Like sometimes you go and you listen to the recordings, and it's like, oh, well, their live stuff didn't sound like it, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing, right? Yeah. But she has the chops. She didn't have a full band behind her. She was just acoustic, kind of singer-songwriter style, but it was great. I thought she was awesome. So I don't have anything of her, but at the same time, I was flip-flopping between the two stages because they're close enough. She was on Zinzenplatz, and Shamar Allen from New Orleans was on Plaza Tropical, which is the stage you're going to be on tonight. And I do have some of him. This is a cover, which I don't always love doing. I like bringing on people's like live music. But
from New Orleans.
He's from New Orleans, and so you'll be able to hear here. He plays this wicked trumpet. It's only like this long.
Oh.
And so you get a peek of it here. But he does a cover of Nirvana's "Smells Like Teen Spirit," awesome. And it's really great. So here's Shamar rocking that one out. See, I can control the volume on my videos. When I jump over to the outside stuff is where I have a little less control, but we'll see. I think I got it. See, he has a lot of fun on stage, and the musicians are very talented, and his stuff is very good.
The energy level, you can tell.
Yep.
Is soaring.
And then this is cool, like he slows it down. Oh, and this is another cool thing. This is worth moving over to this here. He actually, is this him? Yeah. So in the background, if you can see the shot, it's his son.
Oh.
And like towards the end of the set, he was like, "That's my son on the drums." And he's like, "I'm having a proud dad moment. My son can drum." And he was very good, like as you could probably hear in that song. Like he's a legit drummer. Yeah. But apparently this is his first tour with his father.
Wow.
It's just a really cool story.
I just saw Tedeschi Trucks. And, and it, you think about Derek Trucks and his uncle, the drummer from the Allman Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I also have some video of TIOGA last night, but Greg Adams, who's the lead singer of TIOGA, he's going to be on after you.
Great.
So I'm actually going to play that stuff later. We can cover that as highlights from yesterday later on. Jumping over for today, real quick. Again, I want to promote this because Bobby is great. Bobby Martrich is like a local weather forecaster, and he's like a magician about it. Like he has some sort of magic ball or cauldron that he looks into.
And of course, coming up to this show, you're doing outdoor shows. You're looking.
You have to check that stuff.
You feel like you're a pilot or something, looking at the weather.
So
studying the weather.
Yes. on his YouTube page, he does a daily broadcast.
Oh, cool.
And so
with good images.
Yesterday we had some scattered thunderstorms again. I said this next
the
couple
audio
days we're going to be dealing with this. We have a boundary in the vicinity. A surface trough yesterday was responsible for that.
But basically, it's the same as
boundary
yesterday.
over the region again
there's kind
today,
of like a
but it's going to be focused a little bit further to the west. It's going to
For
be stalling in
like
those areas, and it's going to become the focus of more scattered showers and thunderstorms. However, I don't think the coverage again
people working on so much. It's
totally.
like he's critical to the whole
much coverage the day before, and
communication network.
We're trying to step down here in frequency.
And the other thing I share this a lot, but he puts it in plain language.
Oh, that helps.
So he's explaining all of these variables in a way that someone like you or I can understand.
Yeah, good.
But like you can tell he knows way more depth.
But we have a few of those opportunities today. But I don't think most of the day for most of you are going to be.
So you can see here, like this is where we are in that very lucky empty spot there. But it's not very, it is a crapshoot at the end of the day. Like these models,
the European model, latest one here is starting to indicate that. Now, one thing we will have today, I think, is
so anyway, it's a longer video. He does like between 8 and 13 minutes, depending on how much he has to share.
If I was attending this festival, I'd be every morning.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The night before, every morning.
Yep. Yeah, or sometimes it's like tonight is Willie Nelson, so a lot of people have been waiting. Actually, he was booked for 2019. So
it was a double bump.
So it's right. So he was, well, I should say in 19, he was booked for 20.
I see.
So they announced it. It was people were buying tickets, and then 20 gets postponed. 21, he couldn't do the date. So it got pushed again. And so like people have probably been waiting for the show for 3 years. You would want to know whether
really
it's
exciting. Really exciting. He's genius.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It should be good. And or there's other great acts that are coming up throughout the week. That whether it's the ticketed stuff or you just want to go down and see Eljuri.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing where again, check the weather or even follow him because he'll send out weather alerts if you subscribe to his.
That's great.
Yeah. And he's the official weather prognosticator for Musikfest. So Musikfest relies on him, and if there's like something going on, like a thunderstorm or whatever, they'll send out alerts through your
they time it when to call the show, when to rain.
Yeah.
Based on his. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a big, huge project.
That
are going on, multi-level stage. It's really complicated.
It totally is. Yeah.
So well run.
So here I'm going to bring up the ad blocker for a second here. These are the bands that I'm recommending for today. So it's another 6, starting with the Darling Sons, who are actually on right now. They have a set on at 2, but they have another one later on at 6. So if you had seen, I posted this in the morning, as you saw, because you were tagged, of course. But people might have seen it. And the Darling Sons were actually also booked by the local public school system, the Bethlehem Area School District. Has a school or? A seminar. No, it's like a thing that they just teach a bunch of kids. Arts Quest is involved, and they just teach the kids how to basically run a venue.
Oh,
and
fantastic!
They learn,
fantastic.
So cool,
so cool,
so cool. And so they review bands. They reached out. They have a budget.
Do they do the setups and everything, sound checks and blah blah blah?
I wonder if they do that. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. But it's more about how to reach out, how to book, how to stay within your budget.
Oh, that's
and how to set up a day, because they have to book 4 bands for the day. So it's the
managing booking end of things,
right? And also who should go on first and who should close.
That's
and all
great.
It's really cool.
And it's for students.
It's for students of the Bethlehem Area School District. There's 2 schools, Freedom and Liberty, I think. Anyway.
You have to give back. You have to give back.
Right. It's super cool. So Darling Sons was one of the bands picked by that group.
I love it.
This year. And when I was listening, I'm like, yeah, they definitely should be booked. Jack Silva, who's the assistant superintendent and oversees that program, he's going to be on the live stream this coming Wednesday.
I have great respect for people who run programs like that.
Absolutely.
I just was on a mentoring panel yesterday with Sound Thinking, which is a program in New York for public school kids, high school age, and it's trying to teach them all about music.
Sure.
The whole music industry, the whole gamut, whether you want to be a manager, whether you want to be a podcaster, whether you want to be a musician, and it's called Sound Thinking. And it's free. You have to sign up. You have to show real interest. And then we had a mentorship panel, and then we had roundtable discussions with 35 kids. It was awesome.
Sure.
Awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Awesome.
Again, like you said, when you give back and that's so important
to volunteer back, and you know, you're giving, but you're also receiving so much.
Always.
So it's
always,
really
and once you get that, it's like that Ebenezer Scrooge moment. Like once you do that, you're like, I want to do this all the time.
Yeah, I'm totally
let's find more ways
connected
to give
with something.
back.
And I was also talking to the Lehigh Valley girls.
Lehigh Valley Girls Rock,
yeah, Girls Rock. So we're connecting with them.
Awesome.
Maybe doing something.
That's so cool. I mean, you'd be such an inspiration for them.
I would love to.
Yeah. And I was even saying, like, I know they're super busy and they just went through that camp thing, but it was like, you know, hey, maybe bring offer out everyone who was part of it, like to come down and check, you know, your show out, because I think that's very inspiring too.
And we're playing tonight, and we're also coming back for a Steel Stacks event. Yeah, that's
true. So if people are like, you know, just can't get out this evening to see you, you're coming back. I think it's September 10th, 9th.
It's a Thursday.
8th.
September 8th.
September 8th, a Thursday. Here's the thing: that whole weekend, you're like, it's like another kind of festival. You're on Thursday night. The next night is someone else and I'll promote this some other time, so we'll focus on you. But there's someone on Friday and on Sunday that are all amazing.
Oh yeah.
And actually all female-led groups.
Wow.
All 4 of them.
Wow.
So it's like a whole awesome weekend of that. Yeah.
That's great.
So just I want to get this over with so we can get to your story. But this is such great dialogue. So thank you so much. Second one I'm recommending, Pentley Holmes, a tremendous like blues guitarist. Like he's great. He actually was local. But he's moved to, kind of continue to follow the career. So I think he's really starting to get some stride and whatnot. So he comes back though, but he's originally a Lehigh Valley performer, and he's excellent. I Am Chelsea I Am is kind of an R&B soul artist. Let's bring up some of her stuff because I think it's quite good. Here is, let's see, her song called Won't.
Cool.
So I like when Musikfest will go out and make sure they're diversifying their offering, because it can get it was, well, let's say this, it was founded on polka music.
Wow, that's awesome too.
So like those early ones were very much correct, much more traditional. But polka can very quickly become folk.
Yep.
And then country and bluegrass, and so like they can be a lot heavy on that, and I just like when they definitely make sure that they're reaching out and getting different sounds. And even you're an example of that as well. Yeah, sure. And we talked about it when we had you on, where it's like it almost does you a disservice to call it, you know, either world or global music or whatever. It really should just be called rock music. Yeah. What difference does it make, you know, whether you're singing in a different language or, you know, you're just look different? Like it's still rock music. Like,
right. The music industry tends to bucket things and put things in genres. And so I'm a genre buster. Yeah.
Yes. Well, even in the opening, when I first was picking people to book to talk to, I didn't realize it then, but I've learned it as far as like who I'm always recommending kind of is that the words that I've come across that I liked was genre defiant.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And so I actually put that in the description, like in the opening of the show, that I say I'm bringing you hopefully genre defiant artists that are worth your time. Because I
appreciate it.
Yeah, and I also think it's like it's not. I hate even saying the word because it's like either it's genre defiant in that it's like it's multiple genres, so to pick one is minimizing, or it's like it's a bluegrass artist who's just above bluegrass, or you know whatever
or it's just
it is.
My sound,
correct?
I mean, the El Hudi sound is a fusion.
That's exactly right. So that's just what I'm always trying to do is like, don't worry, it's the excellent genre. That's usually what I try and say. Like that's who we're bringing.
That's very kind.
That's right. And then, so we're going to get to you in 1 second. So Eljuri is on here. Obviously, you're one more time. Plaza Tropical, 7 p.m.
Yes.
It's 90-minute show. So you've talked about that before too, where you get to put on a full concert.
Yeah, we're really excited because you often play like 60 minutes and 45 minutes. So to play a full concert, it is a full concert. And you can really take hopefully everybody on a journey with you. You know, jump on board, jump on the magic carpet and ride around with us and have fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the last two here, There is actually a Radiohead tribute band, cover band.
I love Radiohead, of course.
Exactly. And that's the thing is like, I don't typically go to the tribute bands, but it's mainly because it's a party. Like, I get it. I mean, I understand why a lot of people would love it. 80s tribute band, yacht rock tribute, love all of that stuff. But if I'm down here and I got the choice between that and you, like, I'm going to pick you all day long. So it's like, I don't typically pick a tribute band, but this isn't for a party. This is and I've checked out some of their stuff.
Listening
Correct.
Band,
and it sounds like they are very, very true to the Radiohead sound. So I can't wait to see them because my chances of seeing Radiohead live is minimal, if not non-existent. So I'd love to see somebody who comes, a solid A-, behind that would be great. So I'm hopeful for that. And then lastly, Sonic Bloom. I just always love that.
Great name.
Yes. They're on at 11, which was the TIOGA spot for last night. Hi, Greg. There's this festival's pretty much done at 11. And maybe like 3-4 years ago, they added like just one kind of smaller stage, 11 p.m. And they tend to just book really interesting bands for it. Like
it's like a wind down.
Yes, it is.
Like
it is.
I'm listening because we'll want to maybe go.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing is like I always called it. Do you remember 120 Minutes on MTV?
Yeah, totally.
I always call it the 120 minute stage because they're typically putting on somebody who's kind of alt rock.
Oh, that's interesting.
Or just again a little bit more defiant on that, but kind of like you said.
So the Breeders are going to be.
Yeah, that would be the kind of thing that they're. So like again, it's very similar kind of offering there. So Sonic Bloom at 11 p.m. on that Blue Steel stage. So let's get to Eljuri here. Let's play some music. This is from last year's set.
Yep, 2021.
Yes. So this is and so that's the cool part is it's a Musikfest backdrop and such. This is video that
I'm not sure which. We played 2 stages last year.
So. Oh, that's right, you did. This is the one in front of the Steel Stacks, the one. That
the beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, they're both beautiful, but Steel Stacks is stunning.
Right. So here is Eljuri. This is La Lucha.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And if you want, talk a little bit about, because you always call about the power trio, and I completely agree with that. So
I've been touring with my fellow bandmates and playing with them for years. Winston Roy on bass and background vocals, bass guitar. And
Alex just did it. He always goes, move your body. And it makes me laugh.
Yeah, no, Alex is always encouraging the crowd, and he's amazing. Besides being a drummer, he's a treat.
It cracks me up. The first time I heard it, did he just say move your body? Like, that's awesome.
He says a lot of things throughout the show, and is like part of, like you're hanging out with your friends. And that's kind of what the idea is, like, join us.
Yeah. And he's tremendous. Like, what a great drummer.
Oh, great drummer. Yeah. And he's from Cali, Colombia, but grew up in New York. So he understands my Latina rhythms and he understands the rock because he grew up just like me, like
the Latin from Manhattan.
That's right. He's Latino from Manhattan. I'm the Latina from Manhattan. And he also, is a great percussion player, and we're going to feature him on djembe tonight too.
Oh, that's cool. I remember when I walked up, because it's so hard sometimes with 15 free stages and north side and south side.
Yeah.
Like
15 is amazing.
It's amazing. And then, I think last year I was coming to check out your set, but I was on the north side. So a set ended, and it's probably like a good 40-minute walk. So even though there's a half-hour gap, I showed up a little bit late, and he was already up doing that part, and it was so cool. But I kind of missed the first part of it. Yeah. So I'm so happy to hear that you're doing that tonight.
Yeah.
This one I labeled Eljuri shredding. So this is mainly like just a guitar solo. And you can also hear the bass in there too.
Yeah, he's a great player. Great guy. They're great guys. They're my hermanos.
Okay. Well, let's talk about what you got going on now. A lot has happened since we had you on.
Oh my God, we're so excited. There's so much going on. We during COVID, I kind of built up my home studio, and you have to look inward. Your everything stopped. You couldn't rehearse, couldn't tour, everything was streaming, and I was like, wow, I have to just write another album.
Right.
I'm a songwriter first. I happen to sing. I happen to play guitar. And
that's very cool to hear. Because I do always wonder that about different people. It's like, and I think you can tell, like, if the songs are quality, then obviously they really put a lot of their passion, effort, talent, and energy into that.
My mother was a composer. She, I was listening to her melodies and writing my first melodies on piano when I was 5, because I was mimicking my mother.
Sure.
Beautiful melodies my mother wrote. So.
And your father was also
my father was an actor.
Oh,
a very famous
performer then.
Very famous actor and a radio guy.
Oh, very cool.
So he was known, like, did soccer.
Sure.
Soccer at the soccer stadiums in Ecuador, and he also did a lot of television, radio, theater.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome.
The entertainment side. My mother was the composition, piano.
So that's how you get both. Like, you do the songwriting and then you get up on stage.
Exactly. I learned from both of them. They named me after the saint of music for a reason, Saint Cecilia, and I was like, no pressure, but I didn't know better. My mother, when she's when she sees a baby, she'll look at their hands and say, "Oh, that baby can be a musician." I swear. She'll look at their hands because depending on the way their fingers look, I don't know. Oh, puede tocar piano, o puede tocar guitarra. I'm like, wow, okay, Mom, no pressure. But I did start on piano because of her, and then gravitated towards the guitar because I grew up in New York City, and it just was cool to play guitar.
Yep.
Start bands, but I was writing music first, always writing songs.
That's very cool.
Always writing songs.
Yes, and there is that whole other interview out there that people could find to hear a lot of. We get into a lot of your history there about the different bands that you were part of and formed and that kind of stuff. But if there is anything there that you want to touch on from the kind of either inspiration or history of things, but there was that one moment where, like, you were following the formula of the music industry, and then you finally were asked to say, "Hey, can we write more Spanish-speaking songs?" And you were like dying for that anyway.
Yes,
so, like, it was like this great
so then
moment.
I ended up writing more in Spanish. That's right. My trajectory. I started in punk bands and whatever, writing in English.
Which was the time too.
Yeah, exactly. And I was looked up to these bands.
Of course.
I was a little girl, and then when I went to Spanish, it's just a beautiful language to sing in.
It is.
And it came out of my soul, these lyrics. So I was like, wow. And so then I went there. I just went there and stayed there. And now most of my songs are in Spanish. And most of my tours are, it's all over the place in the US, but Mexico's a big market for me, for example, in South America, Colombia. And I wrote this album during COVID, and I got in deeper into the arrangements than I ever could because I had more time and dug in deep and tried exploring different sounds, different harmonies, all that good stuff. I do all full arrangements at home in my studio. And then we said, my manager, Alex, was like, let's record in a dedicated studio.
Sure.
Off out of Manhattan, not going back and forth, bringing in germs.
True. Very true.
Let's protect ourselves. Let's just live. So we found this great studio called the Clubhouse, and we did this amazing documentary. Rudy Gold, actually, it's on YouTube. That kind of captures, it's a 6-minute mini doc.
Oh, very cool.
It kind of captures the whole recording experience up at the Clubhouse. I lived there for 6 weeks, basically.
Wow, that is really, really
recording and bringing players in, and
sure.
My great drummer and bass player and other horn section. And
and I can link to that in the show notes, and even we can put it out there for people to check out. Because I do think a lot of people, what I've been learning is when I was interviewing some people and might get a little music nerdy, initially I was like, wow, is everyone going to be into this? But I get a lot of people going, wow, that was cool. And you could have gone even further with that. And so I think there are people out there who are not musicians who want to know more of those kind of
it's kind of behind the scenes, behind the scenes, and kind of the storyline of what it was like to live there, to wake up, have, put down a vocal line, and then in the afternoon, finish the tracking, and then live there for all the mixing with Paul Antonell, who's a great, the first person who recorded at the Clubhouse when he opened it 30 years ago was Linda Ronstadt.
Oh my God.
So he's a pro, and he completely clicked with my music. So we were like, this is a good home to be in for 6 weeks.
Certainly. That's very cool.
And Shabam Mondal, he was the lead engineer, and we clicked with him too.
Yep.
and he's I think he's coming to the show tonight.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
Because his father lives in Bethlehem.
Well, that's
just
an easy one.
Moved here, yeah.
And so that's the album that got released recently?
So the album didn't get released yet. The singles are being released. But the album is called Reflexión, and we released the first single, Espejo, in June. Second single, Salva la Tierra, in July.
Right.
We'll have another single in August, and the album gets released in September 30th.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to be playing a lot of new material tonight, and at the Steel Stack show.
Yeah.
We have a record release party at Joe's Pub, which you're invited to come.
I saw that. I was like, I hope I can do that because and also my daughter goes to college in Brooklyn. She goes to Pratt.
Pratt's a great school.
Yeah.
Great school.
So it always is like, well, if I can swing like a visit and and include that in there or whatever.
So you poor thing, your daughter's creative.
Yes. Yeah. Two. Our oldest is a chemical engineer, but engineering is a creative problem solving.
Yes, it is. Yes, problem solving
type of path, and then the other two are both visual artists.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're welcome to come. That's going to be the big launch party in New York.
I would love to make the
whole new record. Yeah. The record gets released September 30th. Then we have a launch party. We go on tour in Mexico and launch it there.
That's super cool. Very cool.
But most importantly is, here we're playing new songs, new material. Steel Stacks will be playing a lot of the new material. So we're bringing those songs to life is really exciting. Even before the record comes out, we're playing some of the new ones.
Absolutely.
And we have some great music videos out there.
And I think so. This will be a good transition to probably you playing is the other element of that other interview that we spent a good deal of time on was you even call yourself an artivist. It's like you use your art to be an activist, and a lot of your songs are about important topics. And I think you even poured that in, and even more so on this latest.
Absolutely, every record.
Definitely,
but definitely the latest single, Salva la Tierra, is about climate control, and everybody can do their part, and together we're really powerful and effectuate change on your own with your own parts, but also shedding the light for the politicians, for the people who run big companies, and how they can act more responsibly. And really, I really think it's urgent. When we recorded the song Salva la Tierra, for example, the single, we recorded up in Rhinebeck at this beautiful studio. I was talking about the Clubhouse. And for the out chorus, the last chorus of the song, we invited 25
very cool.
Bard students to sing along. And they were like musician majors, human rights activists majors, and they completely didn't understand the lyrics until I explained, and they were singing with their hearts out. It's important for our generation and their generation. So we were thrilled to have them on board recording that out chorus. It was so cool. It gave me chills watching them sing with their pouring their hearts out. Save the earth, salva la tierra, you know?
Yeah, that's obviously you're right. It's like probably even more important for their generations. They're sitting there going, "Thanks for leaving me with this."
Exactly. We have to act responsibly, and for them, and they're pushing too.
Yeah, for sure. So, what song are you going to play for us today?
So today I'm going to play something from my first album.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, which is completely different.
Got
it. Should I play?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Basically, I might kind of come out of the shot so that it's fully on you. But yeah, so I guess one little thing to kind of tie that up there, you definitely have these songs like Bang Bang is a big one where it's about gun violence and gun control, hopefully. And then things like
Derecho is another song about fighting for your rights. And that we filmed in that video we filmed in Mexico.
Yeah. And probably my favorite song is Ya Es Hora.
Oh, Ya Es Hora.
Yeah, which is about PTSD and coming home from war and the different problems that would bring, whether that's domestic violence or
it's a rally cry for peace.
Yes,
basically.
right, because the consequences are so bad.
Correct.
So yeah, there's all these great songs that you have out there that also have great message. Would love to have you. I'm honored that you're performing today.
I'm thrilled to be here.
and then
I
will give you center stage here. I'll sneak out this way, and then we'll kind of wrap.
Before you sneak out,
everything sounds great. Yep.
Guitar level's good. Vocal level's good.
Actually, I may even take it down a bit so that you.
I don't want. I'm loud.
Yeah. So we'll do that. Do it one more time.
Let me just turn it so I'm facing it.
So here is Eljuri.
This is my song Tierras from my first album, En Paz. dónde viene el temor. En el aire ahumado. Libre de odios, libre de celos, libre de esperanza y de recelos, libre de odios, libre de celos, libre de esperanza y de recelos. Tierras pobres, tierras tristes, tierras de mi gente que quieren ser felices, tierras de los pueblos con todas las raíces, tierras pobres y tristes. Las tierras cambiarán, fronteras cambiarán, las tierras cambiarán, fronteras cambiarán, las tierras mejorarán, fronteras mejorarán. Viva Betlehem y todos los latinos. Las tierras mejoran, fronteras mejoran. Las tierras mejoran, fronteras mejoran. Las tierras mejoran. Gracias, señor.
Thank you. So wonderful to see you again.
You too.
And this was our first time kind of meeting in person, other than I was at the merch tent asking you to be able to interview you, and you were probably like, "Who's this knucklehead?"
But the nicest knucklehead. And I'm a knucklehead too.
That's right. So then when you were on the lineup again this year, I was like, I can't wait. My fiance can't wait to come down and check out the show. So she's going to be down there, Christy. So she was like, she knows, she actually calls herself a Musikfest widow. Because she's like, I know you just go down there all 10 days and you know, you're just doing your thing. And she loves that I do that, but it's not kind of her scene.
Yeah.
But when it comes out, she's just like, when's Eljuri playing?
Oh, good. I'd like to meet her.
Yes, absolutely, for sure. So yeah, she's coming down. A couple other good friends of mine are all coming down. Great. Hopefully all of you are going to come down too. Yes, 7 o'clock.
I want to say hi to everybody and really feel grateful and appreciated.
Yes. Oh, one other way you inspired me. I did my own guitar picks like you did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So
what? Let me feel what the weight is.
Here.
I'll take one.
Yeah. Oh,
it's fabulous.
Yeah. So it has two sides.
Yeah. Here's one for your.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, give it to your fiance.
For sure. Thank you. It's like guitar pick trading. It's like trading pins or something at the Olympics or something. But I have more. So like if you run into me while you're on the festival, come say hi to me and I'll give you a guitar pick and it's just fun to kind of share that kind of stuff. But
when we're finished with our show, we have like the merch table set up, and I'll be signing autographs and meeting
awesome.
Greets after.
Actually, last year I got a temporary tattoo.
Oh, you did for La Lucha. Que bien.
And I was like, I got to save this. But yeah, so
we have other treats this year.
Very cool. Very cool
for the new record.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Eljuri. Can't wait to see the show, and then I'll definitely hang out afterwards a bit. And thank you, Alex. Thank you, Rudy. It was so great to have you all here. And everyone get down to see Eljuri, and also make sure you check out. We didn't get to it, but the new video for that.
Salva la Tierra.
Yes, is really, really cool. It's like a stop motion thing, so people should check out the YouTube channel and your website and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we have 2 of the new singles on there: Espejo and Salva la Tierra. Yes.
Yeah.
And the mini doc.
Yes.
Those are the new ones.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And peace and love to everybody. I'll see you all tonight.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So we'll kind of transition in and out. And Greg, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Why don't you come on up here and we can check things out.
Hi. Love the song. Love the music.
Gracias.
It's so cool. Like, I'm not always sure if a musician's going to perform when they also have shows that same day. So like, I wasn't expecting anything, but you're both performing. Like we
have the same disease.
Yes. But thanks so much for joining on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Have you ever played in this venue before?
No, this is the first time I've ever been in this room.
Well, we're gonna have to fix that one too, because both of you should definitely have a set here.
Hey,
it's a kind of a really cool place. They call it a listening room, and it's people will come here because they want to listen to music. So it's not like a bar or something like that where it's like, there's a band playing. Like, the people who come here are here to see the show.
It's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a lot of history.
Yeah, there's definitely history here. There's some really cool stuff on the walls about people who have played here in the past. And then it's a very, in a good way, like intimate setting. Like people will be sitting right there. And so like, it's a very, very a great place to see a musician perform and do that kind of a thing. So anyway. You performed last night.
Yes,
you did.
Yeah, we did.
You were on the 120-minute stage.
Yes, yeah. I am running on fumes currently.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
because you did 2 hours last night.
Yeah,
and you didn't stop. There was a break, but there was not a break for Greg.
Yes, yeah. Got to keep the folks engaged. Got to keep people from leaving.
Yeah.
I
think it was well played. And actually, my buddy who's in from out of town just to do festival with me. He said he was just like, hey, that part where it was just the lead singer, that was cool.
Yeah.
So he really liked the whole thing, but he was like, he kind of appreciated that there wasn't just a break. That it was like some instrumental stuff.
And, we like to switch it up. And, a couple of months ago when you saw me alone, that's kind of a big... That's always been a big part of who I am personally as a musician. So when I get the opportunity to do that, in a full band setting and just have that change of pace, I think the audience appreciates a change of pace, and my bandmates certainly do. It means they get to go use the bathroom or go get a drink or whatever, and I get to play songs that I don't normally get to play.
Right.
So
it was you had me laughing so hard because. Like it was just dead straight. You were like, okay, this one is Freebird by Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
And then you go into not that song, but there's a lyric in there that you added in. And then after it was over, you're like, I didn't even get anything for that.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
Yeah. Well, I started playing, I was playing Landslide. Mm-hmm. And in the middle of the guitar solo, I decided to throw the first verse of Freebird in. Because everybody... People at 12:30 at night, 30 past midnight, folks start asking for Freebird.
Yes.
And it's just like, I've been asked to play Freebird. I've been playing music for 16 years, and we always get asked, and I never have the response. So now I've just gone to whatever the next song I'm about to play is. I just
announce it
as
well. Landslide worked really well because I could tell
Skinner.
People were going, oh, he's doing like a slowdown version of Freebird, like a different kind of version. Yeah. And it was like, no. And then but that was a brilliant point in the middle there. And you're right. They didn't give you any props for that.
I think the last time I played alone and was heckled to play Freebird, it happened twice. And I think I did the same gag twice, and they weren't ready for it the second time either, which is like, come on.
Yeah. Get with it.
Fool you once, shame on me.
Yeah.
Fool you twice, shame on you.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So I do have some video I was going to share because I didn't do it in the highlights section in the beginning of the show. So I wanted to kind of play it here while you were here.
Awesome.
You may or may not be able to hear it, but
I will listen hard.
but I can share with you. I think it is. It was the one you played, and I got mentioned. I love when that happens, when the musician is like, "Hey, this one's for Phil." I'm like,
"Yep,
that's me." And that's why I do this. That's why I have this hobby, is so that I can have these great conversations and then have a very ego-fulfilling moment where somebody says my name on stage.
Absolutely.
So here is Dream Eater. Taking it down so we can talk. I don't know how this song isn't like a very popular radio hit. Like, that's why I love it so much.
You know what's so fun about writing for as long as we have, and having the repertoire that we have, and all of our songs being so different, is that like everybody has their favorite, and songs that I wouldn't consider would be somebody's favorite, I'm always surprised.
Sure.
That, like, you're maybe one of the first people that I know that has reacted as, exuberantly to Dream Eater since we were playing that song in Philly basements in 2017.
Sure.
Or or somebody will ask for a deep cut from our first album.
Right.
I'm like, why do you like that song? Or why is that your favorite song?
Right,
why isn't it the single that I put all of my marketing money into? It's like, why are you glomming onto this song?
Yeah, and you're right. Like, I know that happens too with other more elaborately produced albums, where it's like you can see they all went for this one, and it's like, the public went for a different.
It's funny how that happens, and that can happen at any level. Like, I know, just an example, I don't know, Panic at the Disco's last album, they put they maybe had 4 singles on that album, and I think High Hopes was the last single that they put out, and they didn't market it like they expected it to take off, but it's their most streamed song.
Sure.
And that's just one example. There's a million examples of that, but
yeah, totally. But I also recorded a ton of it because normally I'll capture 90 seconds because that's better for Instagram. But obviously I wanted to hear this one, so I was like, I'm capturing, I've got 5 minutes of this song.
Yeah, and nowadays, especially when you're doing a 2-hour set, you'll take a jam where you can take a jam, especially in the final 30 minutes. So we really jammed this song out last night and just had a lot of fun with it.
Totally. I also have Tigers. You want me to bring that one in?
Sure.
Yeah. Which again is the same early album.
Yeah. Both of those were on our first EP.
Yeah. Which is that out there anymore? I don't know if it's out there.
I think we took it off. We took it off Spotify, but I think it's still on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, okay. And that's the better place to purchase music. You get more out of that.
I guess so.
Yeah. It's still not exactly.
I would say
the world.
Honestly, and it might be a genre difference. It might be a generational difference, not a generation, but a music generational difference. But I don't even necessarily consider, relative to our other revenue streams and what we do to keep the lights on, music streaming is just not something that I pay attention to.
Sure.
For music sales. Honestly, it's getting folks out to shows and having folks buy merch that they like if they decide that they like us. And those two things I think are driven by the music, because that comes first, and that's what will make people come to your shows, what will make people interested in buying your merch. But then it's kind of one thing feeds the other. So all of the money that we get from those tickets and those merch sales goes back to music, making sure people hear our music, putting music videos together, being able to record and mix and master material. So one feeds the other. But for now, it's all the same. I only care that you're listening. I don't care where you're hearing it or how you're listening to
That is very cool. There was some stat, I'm going to get it wrong, but it'll prove the point. Is someone said it is one T-shirt would be the equivalent of 405,000 streams or something like that.
Yeah.
So you couldn't possibly get it there. Yeah. Buy the shirt, buy the vinyl, right straight from you.
Right.
That's the kind of thing that it's going to be way more, like you said, having you be able to support your talent, and your pursuit. And so If you don't wear T-shirts, buy it for somebody else. Give it as a gift.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Exactly.
Or just donate to the band. Like, I don't need the T-shirt. Here's the $20.
Yes.
So,
and nowadays, bands like TIOGA have websites that have very convenient merch stores on them. So
that's true.
You can go online and you can buy yourself a TIOGA T-shirt, and we'll send it to you.
Yeah, I think the website is very well done.
Oh yeah.
So whoever, kudos to that.
Between Derek and Megan.
Nice.
Meg's our manager.
Yeah,
they're very savvy.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought it was a great website. So it's laid out well. It's got the combination of like videos and just really professionally done photography. Very cool. Really.
Thank you.
I think it's a well done site.
I encourage everybody to go to tiogatheband.com.
Yes. Yeah. And if you want to know, I'm trying to keep these, a shorter time span because it's more of like a quick hit live stream. We do get into the band name, why it's pronounced the way that it is, the history, your parents meeting at Musikfest, like all these cool little nuggets of a story are all part of the original interview we did with you. But so certainly go check all of that out.
Yeah.
But I guess I wanted to make sure you did also have a chance to promote the current like release of music.
Yeah.
There's some things that are out. There's a lot that's coming.
Yes. Yeah. We have a veritable torrent of material that we are sitting on and working on. You and I talked about last time, TIOGA is currently sitting on like a 15-track record that we finished writing maybe 3 months ago, and we're just kind of like chiseling away at the recording part. And, it's something that we just want to make sure we get right. It's very, very important to me as a body of work. It's one of the greatest things I think I've ever done as a musician. It's just a beautiful, coherent, thought out, deliberate, track list.
Sure.
And, there's a narrative that is just a through line through the tracks. And I put so much thought into, like, I feel like I could write a screenplay
based on the music,
sure. And
or like I hate the phrase rock opera, but like an album narrative.
Yeah. I don't think I would ever deign to like fashion myself as a screenwriter or a rock opera writer, because I don't think that's my talent. But I will say I wrote the music with that in mind, like I was writing it for like a larger.
So it might inspire somebody else to.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. There you go. If there's somebody who wants to collab on that, we can do that.
So is Undercurrents part of that?
No. Okay,
that's more current music, but it's not.
Yeah.
Part of that.
So while we've been juggling this second LP, we've been writing songs in parallel that don't necessarily fit.
Very cool.
The second album. So for the last 3 years, we've been putting music out that wasn't going to be on that album, but we knew we were going to put out. So Undercurrents is a song that came out in 2021. We just put out another song a couple of months ago called I Put My Head Down. And we have another song coming out that we've been playing live for a while. And we actually just recorded the music video for it, which was a lot of fun. We did 2 days, one day in New York and the next day in Philadelphia, called Just My Body. So that'll be out in hopefully a couple of months. We're just putting the finishing touches.
And you've played that last year. You played it last night.
Yeah.
And whenever I hear that one, I like you talked about being, maybe either you or someone being inspired to set the second album to some sort of a narrative. When I hear that song, I'm like, this song should get picked up by either like some level of like, tattoo, or even, reproductive rights or LGBT. Like it should be kind of like things like that, where it's like, it has that kind of tone to it. Like this is, I get to make these choices, not you, kind of feel to it. But yet it's this happy song. Like it's got a great kind of like, it never hesitates to get people up and dancing. Like it's just funny. Like it's just one of those things where it's like last year when you played it, this year when you played it, the video that I have of it, there's all people are just having now, like you said, it is midnight after a festival.
Yeah.
But it's not just because of that. It's because the music is great.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a lot of fun playing it. We have a lot of fun watching people react to it. And, I think one of the biggest themes, I'm always trying to infuse my lyrics with meaning. I don't think there are songwriters that don't have that objective, but, even the songs that are more like dancey, fun, I'm still trying to impart some kind of message. So that was like a big challenge with the second record that, like I said, we're working on putting out. It's not dry. It's not like hard to listen to just because the subject matter is dense and heavy. Like I wanted to say like, okay, I have this big idea, and how can I get this big idea across in a way that's still like fun to listen to, fun to dance to, fun for us to play on stage. Right. So that was a challenge. I'm sure. And a lot of times there's a lot of contrast between the subject matter in the lyrics and how much fun we're having singing and performing the song.
Yeah, because you do have songs that are just a great time.
Yeah.
And then you have the other ones that are a little bit more like where there is deeper, like, I'm paying attention.
Yeah, yeah.
But you had this wonderful, just thing that you shared where you're like, the inspiration for all this stuff can come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure getting lyrics, if you're driving, is a problem. Or getting inspired for some sort of either a chord progression or some sort of melody at work is like, so you told the story where you're like, things will hit you and you'll like run out to the stairwell, and sing into your phone so that you don't forget it. Cause it's always like, anything, like if you were like, oh, I'm inspired by one, whatever, if you don't take a hold of it and let some time pass, you're like, wait, what's that?
Yeah.
And you're like, how was I like so crystally, fixated on this brilliant thing? And now it's just gone.
I'll tell you one time, in high school, my girlfriend, who's now my wife, we were standing in the student section at a basketball game, and her voice, she was like, screaming to cheer on the team or whatever. And her voice cracked in a way that like produced like a 3-note interval. I was like, wait, can you do that again? So for the next 5 minutes, like while all these people are like screaming around us and watching the game, I'm forcing her to try to recreate the noise that she made into my ear. And then like, I would try to sing it back. Like, no, wasn't it like, I never got it, but I was like, oh my God, that's like the coolest thing I ever heard. I have to use that.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
What would have been great though is like, it would be this like massive hit and you're like, oh, what was your inspiration? I was like, well,
I heard
my wife, when she was my girlfriend in high school, did a voice crack. I'd be like, thanks for embarrassing me on that.
Yeah. It's funny though, where inspiration will hit you or what you hear that hits you. And I mean, to that end, like our use of samples and sampling and the way that sampling drives some of the songwriting that we've been doing is another example of that, where I'll record something or I'll start a demo with a found sound and then say like, what can I do to build around it? So there's one track on our new record that I made a street recording when my wife and I were on our honeymoon in Key West. There was a street band, a Latin drum band. And as I was walking by, it's a very imperfect street recording. There's a lot of like street noise. There's a lot of people making noise in the background. So like, it was a challenge for me to say, okay, it would mean a lot to me sentimentally to be able to use this sample in this song. And then how do I affect it and pitch it and like change the timing that I can use this?
Yeah.
And, it worked out really, really cool. And it's kind of like the spine of the song, and we built everything else around it.
I think really cool. Like street recordings have like a nice element to it. Like I don't always want it to be this clean, perfect, audiophile thing with my noise canceling headphones on. Like sometimes I want it to be a scratchy basement. Like there's a reason why that's a popular sound. I think that's pretty cool. Or I really like when, rather than laying tracks, I love when a band records an album or a song where it's like you're all in the same room and you captured the song, almost like a live, a recorded live version.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think that there is, it's something that we fell victim to for a little bit, or we had a phase where we had an obsession with fidelity. And, I think when you move away from that and you kind of recognize that people like hearing, I mean, there's so many classic rock records that like the lead singer is obviously flat in a certain spot or like is off time here or there, or like the guitar doesn't line up with where the snare is coming in. And it's like, it doesn't happen as much anymore, but a lot of those records are memorable for that reason. There's a song by the band Bread, the 70s soft rock band. It's We Can Make It. Hey, have you ever tried? There is a moment at the end of the song where before he does the I really think that we could make it, girl. He goes like, and you can hear him lick his lips right before he hits I really think that we. And I always love it because I can pick that out. And I'm sure that the mixing engineer was like, I got to turn this all the way down to try to, they're recording on tape. And, you're not going to go back and ruin the perfect take just because he was licking his lips. One thing, But again, I think maybe the reason why someone like myself likes that is it's a little bit more like a live show. Like you get this completely perfect sounding recording in the studio. And it's not what it's going to be like if you go see them live. Yeah. That's why I guess I like those other performances where it's like, it doesn't need to be a live recording like in front of an audience, but like do the live thing in the studio or let those things happen. Like just let the mic go. Yeah. I think that there are certain producers in contemporary indie rock and alt rock that are kind of leading that charge back to, I'll call it authenticity or not sacrificing authenticity for the sake of fidelity. When I think of folks like that, like Jack Antonoff's third record, his most recent record, is very much like that. Sure. And, I mean, to use a very overused word, it's imparts a lot of warmth and you're not worried about, the coldness of a perfect pitch in the perfect place. Yeah, record. I think of the band Everclear. And their first album was like this, sounds like it was in their garage or basement or both. Like it was just like this filthy, it just sounded like it was like, oh, my buddy has a band and I happened to like hit record one day and this is what it sounded like. And it's like, wow, that's really cool. And then as they progressed, it just turned into this polished 90s sound. And it was like, I didn't like it as much. Yeah. Yeah. I think you have to, when you evolve, I think you have to do it in a way that, a little more true to your sound. I feel like they lost that. Like, I feel like the Black Keys are almost doing that now. Like they're heading a little too polished for me. It's still good, but it just, you feel like you're no longer in the basement anymore. Right. You're now, you're up upstairs and in the studio. Yeah. And it's fine. I mean, listen, if that's selling more records, great. I'm not trying to say that, but for me, I like that filthier sound. Right. Get it to be, more genuine and don't clean it up. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think maybe both have their place, and sometimes some songs, sometimes it serves a song to have that more high fidelity approach, but other times, like you said, if it's a dirty blues record or a garage rock record, you don't necessarily want to hear the cleanest amp through the cleanest preset or whatever. Yeah. So you're obviously having a guitar here because you're gonna play something. Yeah, sure. What did you have in mind? So the last time the last time we talked, I think I did. You did Slow Deaths and Mercy. Yeah. I think I'm gonna do another new one that we cut for time last night. Fun. Yeah, and I'll try to do that one. Cool. Today. I'll pop out of the screen so people can enjoy you, and if you want to do any little backstory on it. So this song, I'm still figuring out, and I think on the record it's going to be mostly synth, but I'm still figuring out the live version. This song is called Goes On Forever, and the second title in parentheses is Panopticon. And it makes sense when you're if you could read my mind, it would make sense. Alright, I'll give it a try. Give me all your love, I want you endlessly. Watch me from the shadows, yeah, you're all I need. Fading in and out of someone else's dream goes on forever. And I don't think about the fallout when I'm high on control, and I don't wanna come down. No, I don't ever wanna find out where all of this goes, yeah, where everyone goes, yeah, and it it goes on forever, faster than the sound, farther than the distance to you right now. Show me myself, your eyes in the round go on forever. Now I need you to save me, 'cause I'm falling apart. You know the story of my life and the way it ends before it starts. When I feel you on my shoulder, when I think I can stop anytime I want to, I can remember them saying, today it's me, tomorrow it's you, and it goes on forever, faster than the sound, farther than the distance to you right now. Give me everything, just don't let me down. Go on forever, on forever. There it is. First ever performance of that song.
I think we were first performance of Slow Death's
Yes,
original.
you were. 2 for 2.
We are breaking exclusives. Wow. That's great. And so, when the new album comes out, then we'll be the exclusive release of that as well.
Oh, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, no. I just plant that nugget out there for now. But yeah, so the new album, does it have a name?
Yeah, the title of the new album is Mercyland.
Oh, so okay. Where the slow deaths occur.
That's right.
And any target date for it, or?
Oh my God. If I put a date on it, I don't know if that'll jinx it or if that'll force us to put it out next year. Hopefully it comes out next year. All the songs are written.
So targeting 2023, we can at least say that much.
Yeah. But we're going to have more music out by the end of 2022, hopefully.
Yeah, what's nice is the songs that you are releasing that aren't part of that album are all very good. Like Undercurrents is wonderful.
Thank you.
Just My Body is wonderful. And then these ones that you're sharing are really, really
Thank
great.
you.
So can't wait for that. And then obviously you can hear from earlier, like I'm such a huge fan of that first EP. Then the second one with Bad Things and Imaginary Friend. I mean, like it's a great catalog of songs
Thank
you
you
guys have. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And then it's clear too, like, I don't know if hopefully the video portrays it, but certainly live, like just two things, the sheer talent of all four of you.
Thank you.
There's clear, and again, back to the first interview we did, you're all multi-instrumentalists. So like, even though there is a drummer and a bassist and a guitarist and a lead singer, you all could have done a different role.
Yes.
So that comes across. And then secondly, the fun that you guys have. So like there's a great clear rapport between you all.
Yeah.
And that comes through in the performance and the quality of the entertainment, I guess you might say.
Yeah. I mean, we've been playing together for so long, and we just, like you said, we have that chemistry, we have that connection where we can call an audible. You know, towards the end of the night, we were really just like saying like, all right, what song do you want to play? You know, the set list was pretty much out the window at that point, and it was kind of just like, all right, let's match this, let's match that. You know, you turn around and you say, let's extend this part out. You know, let's play this out a little bit.
Oh, and I love too, like it was like you guys also, like you were ready to play, you were jumping a song, and then Austin was like, no. And then you were like, apparently we're playing something else. And you just rolled with it. It was funny.
Yeah.
And then you got it done. Anyway, like just all of that rapport. And then Henry wanted to sing a song, and you were like, Henry's going to sing. Well, it's just like, you're having fun. And you're also like, clearly it's not a problem if you go off script. Like sometimes it's like, you could tell that it's like, these are the 7 songs we're playing tonight.
Right.
And it's like, no, you guys kind of rolled with it.
Yeah.
Did other things.
Yeah.
And whatnot. It's a very, very fun thing to watch.
Absolutely. Thank you. And, I will say, when you're playing a 30-minute set or 45-minute set in a club or something like that, you're a little more rigid.
Sure.
If you're playing to a click the entire time,
Yes.
you're a little more rigid and you've got transitions and you want to keep people engaged. But when you're playing a show that's 2 hours long and it's that crowd at 11 to 1, you know, it's kind of just like the TIOGA review. And like some of the songs have clicks, some of them don't. Some of them have backing tracks, some of them don't. I'm playing synth on some, I'm playing guitar on others. You know, it's a hodgepodge.
Yeah, I do have Bad Things as well. We never played Tigers. Like I never hit play. We got to talking. But what I was thinking of doing is playing one, like turn off our mic, let one play, and then go to the end credits.
Sure.
Would you rather I play Bad Things or Tigers?
Let's go Bad Things.
Bad Things.
Let's roll
Right,
Bad
so
Things.
let me just pull that one in. I don't think it's going to be that one. I may not have, so I have it on the computer. I don't have it uploaded to the studio. Actually, I may have brought up Bad Things and not Tigers. So whatever it is,
dealer's choice.
We'll
play whatever you want.
We're going to enjoy whichever one it is. So anyway, thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
For those of you who may have missed the show last night and now are regretting it, any gigs coming up that you might be able to do?
So Tuesday we are playing World Cafe Live. There might
Oh my gosh, what a great venue.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Tickets might still be available.
Sure.
I think maybe. But that show starts at 8:00 on Tuesday, this Tuesday, August 9th.
So it's a great follow on Instagram, and you're always posting your gigs on there. Or you can check it out on the website. A lot of times I'll repost stuff for our returning favorites. Like I'll see that stuff and put that out there. So a great live show. And, you guys play in New York City a good bit. And elsewhere, I think, is probably part of the plan. So definitely check out TIOGA.
Absolutely.
And we're going to close things out with Tigers, we think.
Awesome.
Thank you to our guests today. Oh, that was a little loud. My apologies. To our guests, Eljuri and Greg Adams from TIOGA. Also, obviously, a deep thank you to Godfrey Daniels and to Ramona Labar for letting us host our show here all week. Definitely going to be doing it each day, and lots of cool guests coming up throughout the week as we've shared. And then obviously each day we're going to start out with some highlights from yesterday, talk about the weather to expect, which will get better and better as the week goes on, according to Bobby Martridge. And also we will do the picks of the day and have on guests. So really enjoy, everybody, and thank you all for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Please come on down to the fest, and like I said, if you see me at the festival and you say hi, I will be happy to hand over one of these super cool customizable picks. Greg, here's one for you. And hope to catch you at one of the Platzes. Have a great day 2 of the fest, and see you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.
over now.